congratulations to AJ. He knocked out Povetkin in a close fight early on. Then he was setting him up for the right hand. You could tell he kept jabbing to the body, and he did what Floyd Mayweather is great at, which is fake the jab to the body, then come up top with the right hand, and that's how he got him hurt. And then we know AJ good at putting punches together, and he put a couple punches together and knocked out, let's be straight up with it, the cheating Povetkin. I mean, Povetkin is not this great fighter, etc., etc. He was supposed to fight Wilder, but he got caught on PEDs. He was using steroids. Then got caught again when he was fighting Stavern. Then Stavern pulled out. Then he fought somebody anyways and knocked him out, even though he got caught with steroids in his system. And they still let the commission let that fight go on, right? And I don't know how he kept his basically his ranking. I think he still was ranked like number 1 or 2 at the time. And then he beat Price and got to number 1 spot and fought AJ, which is all bullshit, because they forced the mandatory as soon as Wilder signed the contract and sent it back to AJ. He took a low blow, but then AJ still ducked Wilder. He didn't want to come to the US for $15 million. He didn't want Wilder to come to the UK, even though he just lowballed him and Wilder still took the fight. He don't want none of that smoke with Wilder. And then he fought Povetkin. So to keep it true with you, to keep it real, at the end of the day, Povetkin is a cheater. Nobody cares about him because without steroids, he's not the same. He ain't going to perform the same way. His power ain't there all the way. So if you're not going to sugarcoat anything, you're going to tell it like it is. Basically what happened is, like I said, AJ ducked the $50 million to fight Wilder in the US. Wilder after that accepted the low blow for $15 million to fight AJ in the UK. Eddie Hearn, to save face and save AJ because they wanted to duck him, what he did, he made the WBC, whatever Povetkin is the number 1 mandatory for, forced the mandatory to fight AJ just to avoid Wilder. And we all know it because we saw it happen. As soon as Wilder signed the contract and he told Eddie, it's coming your way, what Eddie did, and that shit came out of nowhere. And then after 2 days, they talking about 2 days they have to agree to fight, and then 2 weeks later, the fight ain't signed between Povetkin and AJ. But we like, I thought y'all said 2 days or y'all strip him. So we know the codes. We know AJ ducked Wilder and he don't want none of that smoke. And now Wilder's fighting Fury, which is a great fight. So Wilder about to be the A side if he beat Fury, because Fury had all them belts. He the guy who beat Klitschko. So AJ won't have none of them belts if it wasn't for Fury. So the original guy who had all them belts is Fury. AJ was given the belts. He didn't beat the man, which was Tyson Fury. And it's like back in the day, remember when Muhammad Ali went to jail for not going to Vietnam, then Frazier won the belt. But when Muhammad Ali came back, they told him, hey, you have to beat Muhammad Ali. They gave you the belt because you got to be the champion himself. They stripped the champion, which was Muhammad Ali. Then Frazier fought him to earn his respect. So AJ, all them belts he has right now is basically given to him because he didn't beat no champion from him, which was Tyson Fury, the guy who beat the man, which was Klitschko. AJ fought Klitschko after a year and a half layoff, and after Klitschko came off a loss, and he was 41 years old. Like, come on, man. We know what time it is. So at the end of the day, AJ can't say, I fight who the fans want me to fight. Okay, well, the fans want you to fight Wilder. Why you didn't? You know the fans want you to fight Wilder. So make that fight happen for April 13. Nobody cares about White. White ducking Ortiz left and right. White, you already knocked him out. That's just a money grab, just to milk like the cow, like Wilder said. But to get back to the fight, man, AJ, as far as the fight, early on, I don't know if AJ had a game plan, but like I said, he was trying to set, of course, Povetkin for a hard punch so he could knock him out and finish him. But at the end of the day, like, I give him props for not holding much like Klitschko did, but he was getting caught. He was getting caught a lot. And Wilder, if Wilder hits him with one of them right hands, it's gonna be night. But Povetkin was landing a lot of overhands and left hooks. What I couldn't understand is why was AJ throwing overhands against a smaller fighter, a shorter fighter. When you see a guy like Povetkin throwing an overhand right at you, you're not supposed to throw an overhand at him, because if y'all trade overhands, most likely he gonna land it, because he's a shorter fighter. He could go under your overhand. You're supposed to throw uppercut and keep your left hand up. And he was getting caught with that punch all night, so that's one thing he got to work on. But he adjusted. He boxed smart, and he set him up, like I said, for that Floyd Mayweather right hand. He kept feinting. He was actually throwing the jab to the body, then he feinted the jab to the body, then landed a straight cross, and it was night after that, really. Then he put a couple punches together and knocked Povetkin out. But on to the next chapter, because this one was basically a waste of time. It's a good fight, but on paper it is. But as a true boxing fans, we know Povetkin is a cheater. We know AJ just ducked Wilder, and they basically try to use the WBC or whoever, like whatever belt it was, to say, oh, we had to fight our mandatory, or we got to strip. Nah, we know what time it is, man. So stop sugarcoating shit. If you're going to tell it like it is, at the end of the day, AJ must fight Wilder to save his career, because Wilder keep getting more famous and more respected, and AJ just keep losing respect. He didn't sell out the arena. And I know people are like, oh, it's still more than Wilder ever sold. Yeah, but the tickets probably be like $20 compared to Wilder Fury right now. The tickets gonna be so much more. I promise you that they will generate way more money than AJ versus Povetkin, as far as money they're gonna make off the arena, off pay-per-view, etc., because pay-per-view over here is like $80, over there is like $20. So there's no comparison. So it's like a 1-to-4 ratio as far as pay-per-view sale, and as far as ticket sale, it's 1-to-100 ratio, because the tickets over there are so cheap. So it's not even go there, because of course over there they don't got no other sports like football, etc. Here's football, basketball. So you're competing with so much, baseball, all that. So boxing, Wilder's doing well for himself right now. And like I said, if he beat Fury, then he's the A side in my opinion, because he basically the real heavyweight champion, because he beat the man who beat the man, and he also has the main belt, which is the green belt. So at the end of the day, Wilder is winning this as far as politics, and because he's on the right side, that's why he's winning this, period. And that's refreshing to see. But subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't, and listen to these casual ass fans. And peace.